Hi, my name is Paula Boland, and I am a master business and mindset coach. I'm super glad to be with you here in this beautiful and wonderful summit. Isn't it great for all of us women to be together and get our needs met? And thank you to Dr. Carey for putting this all together and giving me the opportunity to be with you and talk with you. What I'm going to be talking about is abundance mindset and opening up your mind to receive abundance, to be in abundance, and to create the business and life you want from a place of abundance as a core strategy for your business. And I know a lot of you are here because you're trying to learn the idea, or you're interested in learning the idea of X plus Y equals Z. So, what do you do to up your viewership? What do you do? Those kind of strategy questions. What do you do to, how do you sell and make your sales process go better? How do you make your offers? How much money do you charge? All of that stuff as you develop your business, which is perfectly fine and wonderful. But the core strategy that I teach, and I regularly help women build their businesses to millions of dollars. And I know it to be true that the absolute first strategy that you have to master is your mindset. And it seems like that doesn't really matter, or you've heard it so often, and so it's a bit cliche. What does that really mean? Well, in my world, and what I'm going to ask you to look about and to think about is your beliefs about your ability to succeed, your beliefs about money, your thoughts about your business. All of those beliefs and thoughts are absolutely going to impact everything you do every day. Every strategy, the X plus Y equals Z strategy, everything that all your clients that you talk to, all of your offers, even the money that you are asking for people to invest with you. As your mindset and your beliefs change, or as they grow, as you grow, you will grow your business. So this is an absolute must strategy for you. And if you've never thought it about that way before, many clients of mine tell me that they never thought about, mindset being important and let me just find out how I get there. But then when they really start climbing and they really start growing themselves in their business, they realize how important an abundance mindset is. So let's look at, I'm going to tell you a couple of stories first, and then we'll start to look at your core beliefs. And you're going to have, there's a piece of paper, a handout like the rest of us have provided for you that you can look at and fill this out and follow along to help you. All right. So first of all, let me tell you my story. Just a few years ago, I was more than $500,000 in debt. Yes, you heard that right. $500,000 in debt. And I was so broke and broken. I called myself a loser every day of my life. I wanted to hide. And despite the fact that I had 3 high-paying jobs, 3, I never had enough money to pay the bills. And it was to the place where I thought I was going to lose my home, and I couldn't even feed my young son. So I say this being broke and broken. But the mindset that I had at the time is I had grown up a child in a lot of abuse. I had always heard that if I just get enough education, it'll solve everything. And I kept getting more education. It wasn't solving anything. So I took it to mean that I was awful, that I was bad, and I was telling myself these stories and had beliefs about that I was a loser, that nothing ever worked right for me, all of those things. And this came forward as a result of my lack-based abusive childhood, right? So it all came to a point, and I had painted myself in a corner where here I was with all of this debt, and I had a choice to make. I had a choice to make of either to give up, which I did at that time, go out and contemplated ending my life, or to turn around and do something differently, drastically different. And I went out for a walk to try to plan leaving this earth. and was trying to plan it from the perspective of how do I do this without affecting my son, which we all know that can't happen. And somehow, some way, a miracle occurred for me. There was this point of Control Alt Delete, a stop. And as I was contemplating, I found a flower and contemplated a flower that was half dead and half alive. And there was this message that came to me in my heart, and I believe it was God speaking to me, that said, that is you. You can choose to be alive or you can choose to be dead. And, if you choose to be alive, how much more beauty can you find? And at that moment, it just kind of shook me, and I made a core decision that I was going to be happy. Now, you have to understand, I didn't even know what happiness meant, right? I was just kind of slogging along, working as hard as I could work. I kept pushing the rock uphill, kept, taking one more job, doing one more thing, all the while calling myself a loser, all the while believing beliefs, again, that I couldn't do it and that I was always broke and broken. And so at that moment, I made a decision to try something different and try to be happy. And I got obsessed with it. Long story, long journey, long story. I don't mean to tell you it was like, a lightning bolt and it all changed. But long story later, I sit here today in front of you with 3 very successful businesses and lots more business opportunities, a very nice coaching practice where I regularly help women who are making $20,000 to $30,000 a month build their life, change their beliefs, and build their business to millions in a short period of time. And my son is just fine, and I have millions in assets and a beach house, all the stuff, right? So that's one story of how, and I had to change my beliefs. I went on a mission every single day of my life. I called it being happy, but I was on a personal development mission, and I had not a lot of money at that time, so I listened to a lot of free stuff, and I just was obsessed with it. And all of a sudden, my life was getting better and better and better, and it changed dramatically. But I made a decision, and I never let off of that. And I didn't know it at the time, but it was all about changing my mindset from that of lack to finding abundance, finding happiness, focusing on the future that I really wanted, the future of having money. And there was no turning back for me. I had painted myself in the corner. It was this or leave the earth. I, made a dedicated decision that I was going to have money. I made a dedicated decision that I was going to be an entrepreneur because I always wanted to. One thing led to another. And that's the way this happens. You don't have to have it all figured out. You do have to make a decision. All right. So I'll share a couple more stories going along the way, but the first thing I want you to think about for yourself is, what are your beliefs about money? Money beliefs kind of encompass everything, right? They encompass your beliefs about yourself, your deservedness, your beliefs about how it can happen, how hard it is to get money. You've been told stuff your whole life about how that works. So you want to take an inventory of what your current beliefs are if you're in the mood to go from a broken mindset, a lack-based mindset, which is holding you back from making money, holding your business back, holding back a lot of things. If you're ready to do this and make the decision, you've got to start looking at your beliefs. That's number one. So the way that you can do that is start to think how much money you want, right? So if you said right now, I would like to have $30,000 a month in income, and you start saying to yourself, well, how do I feel about that, right? And how long do I think it would take for me to get $30,000 a month in income? If you think it's immediate, then you don't have any belief in your way, any negative belief or any resistant belief in your way. If you feel like it might take a month or 2 months or 6 months or 10 years, that is where you can find out what your belief is. And you can deep dive into it and figure that out. So going into a deep dive about what are your beliefs about money? What are your beliefs about you and being successful? Do you every day focus on trying not to be a failure, or are you focusing more on you're a success and how you are successful and how you can be more successful? It's a very different viewpoint, and it's a very different belief system. Do you believe that you can stand on your own 2 feet and you don't care what other people think, or are you a people pleaser? If your beliefs are that people need to be happy, happy, those kind of things. You really need to dive into that, because people pleasing belief will really hold you back. So all of these beliefs that you start to look at and think about in terms of your success, your money, what you believe about yourself, what you believe about your business, what you believe about charging money for what you're doing, is impacting you, right? And if you can get to the core of what those beliefs are, then you start to move forward and change things immediately. Please hear me on this. You can change what's happening in your business. And even if you're making good money, say you're making $30,000 a month, those of us who make $30 and $50 and $70,000 a month still have limiting beliefs. And so you'll still have them. And the more that you find them, the more that you seek them, and the more that you challenge them, take a deep dive into them and start to turn them around, because you know them, is going to benefit you. So the process of this is, first, become aware. Become aware of how you're thinking. Your thoughts are impacting you. Absolutely. You cannot think they are not. Mindset is part of this. How are you thinking? Then the next piece is, what are you thinking about a certain topic? And then the third thing is, so if you think it enough, that is a belief, right? So what is it you want to change? And the way that you change a belief is simply a thought that you continue to think. So you have the ability to change what you're thinking on purpose. You are in control of your mind. Even though you may not believe it, it's not a dog running around on a leash in the park that you can't control. You can literally control your mind and start to change these beliefs. And one way to do it is to just start to notice a different perspective. All right. So while you're changing a belief, like say you believe that money's hard to get, right? So you can start trying to change that belief by saying to yourself, maybe an affirmation, money's easier to get. And then add to it, seeing where and other people that get money easily. So it must not be that hard to get. And you could really even look at this idea. There are people in Vegas right now, that are spending literally $1 million a minute, literally right now, betting for enjoyment. They have the money to spend, and that money is flowing. And it does not mean that their expenditures means that there's any less available. There's plenty for all. And the fact that people can do that and enjoy it, and there's still money available, must mean that there's abundance out there for you and me, right? It's just our resistance to it. So starting to look at different perspectives of how you're thinking about money or abundance, or how abundance affects you, will really, really, really change your life. And I'm going to give you another example. So I started working with this guy about, a few years ago, and I was working with him for 6 months. At the time he came to me, he's a CEO of a case management organization. He was making about 6 figures a year, but he was working 90 hours a week. He hadn't seen his children in years. He was in pain over that disconnection. He just felt like all the time he was pushing and it just wasn't working out. So we settled in and started looking at his belief system, which was, I have to work hard all the time, which was, if I take time off, then I'm not going to make money. All these belief systems about money and how to work, we changed his thoughts about that. We also changed his confidence about himself and helped him hire a team. And then he had to trust the team. So we had to deal with that as well. Well, in 6 months' time, he ended up going on a 6-week sabbatical with his children who he had reconnected with, and leaving his team to run the office. He also had increased his salary to over $4 million a year in 6 weeks' time. And he continues to evolve. He's now at about 10 or 20 million a year. He is an internationally known speaker. He just wrote a book with Jack Canfield. So all of this stuff is a result, not so much of strategy. Yes, there was some strategy that came into it, a different kind of strategy, but it was first the mindset. So you want to find your beliefs. What are you believing about money, about success, about your deservedness, about how you deal with people, and then start to change them. And like I said, you become aware first, and then you start to think a new thought, and then you find evidence of it. You know, where is there more money? Where is there a lot of money? How have you, from today, right where you set, been taken care of? How are you abundant right today? And I'm going to tell you something, a little trick is, if you don't know what else to do, pull out gratitude. And I know that sounds cliche, but there's levels of energy here, right? And when you get all into the lack and it doesn't work, and oh, maybe I'm, don't know what I'm doing, or any of those stories, you are getting into low energies, and those low energies literally will ground you. Like, you'll get depressed, you'll get overwhelmed, you get stressed out, right? And it also makes it hard for you to receive. And women are really terrible at receiving. We've got to learn how to receive, not just give, right? So it's hard for you to receive in those low energies. So I want you to bring your energies up, and the best way to bring your energy up and to literally increase your energy, you're going to feel better. You're going to have more thoughts that help you receive more, is gratitude. If you don't know what else to do, just get into gratitude, okay? So what the outcome is the ultimate strategy is for you to have and to change your perspective on what's happening for you, your money, your business. What stories are you telling? What beliefs do you have? And you to, on purpose, purposefully change them into an abundance belief. Now, what is abundance? Abundance is the knowledge. It's not just a belief, but it's a knowledge. It's like you can go look outside right now, and really where I live right now, there's tons of pollen because of this, but the trees just have thousands and thousands of leaves. They're putting off pollen, so are the flowers, to help make more and create more. You literally cannot count the leaves on the trees or the blades of grass. So if there's that many leaves and there's that much grass, how can you argue with, there being a universe, a natural process of abundance? And all of us are moving. The plants, that's why they put off the pollen. They want to grow and expand. They want to have more plants. It's all of us are supposed to be expanding, abundant human beings. It is not our natural state to be shrinking and not feeling good. It is a natural state of well-being and expansiveness. So it's okay. Listen to me. It is okay for you to want a lot of money. It's okay for you to want more, even though you have stuff. It's okay for you to make $30,000 a month and want $1 million a month. We are all put on this earth to expand and experience new things, and to help others experience new things. And I can tell you for sure that you would not be on this summit if you weren't interested in helping other people. It's just kind of natural who is here, right? So you're not going to go try to be overly grabbing money for no reason. You're getting compensated for how much help you're giving to the world. And that's expected. That all plants grow, all animals grow, all humans grow. We're supposed to. So you need to be looking toward, and it's okay to feel into, I'm supposed to be abundant and expand. Then you can look at also, like we talked about, your stories, and also what you're putting forward in terms of your ideas and beliefs about, are you abundant or not? And if you're sinking back into, oh, I don't have enough, or maybe there won't be enough, or maybe I should hoard it all, that's a indication that you're in lack. All right. So you want to change this, because all of your money and everything that's happening inside of you is because of what's happening inside of you, not outside of you. So these external strategies, X plus Y equals Z, they only work when you grow inside, right? And that's what the abundance mindset is going to do. So we want to get aware, we want to look at our beliefs, and we want to use this as a strategy, and then we want to challenge the beliefs and understand that we're all expanding, we're all all whole, we all are good, and it's if we come at it from that place and know that there's plenty for everyone. You are not a special case. There's plenty for others and you too. And if that's a belief you need to really get into, then you can get some help with that. So this is the next thing I'm going to tell you as I end my talk, and I'm so glad you've been with me. If some of this stuff has been ingrained in us and our brain is firing and wiring these wires, these synaptic wires, these neurons in our body are carrying our habits of thinking, and then they impact our behaviors and our actions. And so if you change any of that at any time, your actions, your thoughts, your behaviors, you change the loop of that firing and wiring in your brain. But it is not easy because you're so used to being yourself. You're so used to having your thoughts. And when you start to challenge your thoughts, it becomes a little bit uncomfortable. And so many people start to challenge it, and then they go back and do things the way they've always done it, and they get what they've always been getting. So if you're in this space and you're thinking, I want to challenge these beliefs, I know it's from inside out, I know it's my time, I want millions of dollars, I know that this is the best strategy, this mindset, I really believe what Paula is saying, but you're having a hard time doing it by yourself, to do it yourself, get a mentor. Get a mentor that has walked this walk like I have, Dr. Carrie has, some of the other presenters, and sign on to get some help. It's the best investment you will make because you're going to change your inside, and that'll change all of your outside very, very quickly. But sometimes, many times, most people, only 1% of all people really can do it all by themselves. So most people are either walking around unaware and don't do anything, or they need some help. So to change this stuff, I am requesting that you consider getting a mentor. If you want to contact me, you can you'll have my information sheet that will have all my contacts, and you can get that from the page on the summit as well. But you can simply send me an email. My email is Paula Boland, Bohland, coaching@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. I would love your evaluation. I would love you to tell me what you thought of my talk. And please go enjoy the rest of this summit. Thank you to Dr. Carrie for putting this on. I look forward to hearing about your strategy with an abundance mindset and how it has changed you and your life and your business. And by the way, this is not going to just change your money, not just going to change your business and the type of clients you serve, how you serve, and the number of clients that come to you. It's also going to change your joy factor and how you live your life, and how much peace you have, how much energy you have, and how fun it is to be on this earth. We'll talk soon.